What's happening?
So Alien Romulus, what's the Romulus of Alien Romulus?
Well, it's a story. One of the main themes of the story is about siblinghood. It's about what it means to be someone's sibling.
Yeah.
Questions as, would you die for your brother? Particularly in a situation like this, with so much pressure on the characters, it's a good test for this. A lot of these relationships. And well, Romulus and Remus. They were brothers.
Yeah.
Romulus murdered Remus.
Famously.
That did not go well. So hopefully this goes better.
Going back to this idea of it being more in the classic horror genre, I assume that there's a tremendous amount of practical effects within this film. So can you talk a little bit about, how much was practical versus what had to be sort of digitally enhanced, et cetera?
Well, I think it's a combination. I think to make these movies right, you have to use all the techniques invented for cinema in the last 100 years, and not just depend on the newest, easiest, fastest one, which is usually CG. But there's amazing artists that work on the CG side on this movie as well. We have ILM and Weta doing incredible work. You can see some of the work on the trailer when it comes to the space shots. We did not go to space to shoot this movie, so fortunately, but that's usually tends to be CG. But then, everything has to do with the actors and be on the floor and be on the corridors is always practical. And the rule was, if it can be built, it will be built.
He mapped out everything. The whole ship was basically built on the stages, so that was really cool too. You could get lost in there. Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, and adding on to what you're saying, what was so cool about it for us was that we could just do the doing. When you do what your character would do, it just takes all the pressure of being in an alien film, which is one I don't think any of us want to have to act like there's aliens. Just do the doing, and then the rest follows. So we were privileged to have that.
Yeah.
We shot it chronologically as well, pretty much. So for all of us, it was just, we're kind of in this immersive experience, which just makes it so much easier. We know what the stakes are, we know where we've been, we know what we've been through already, and it just made our jobs a lot easier and real as actors.
But I always prioritize that. I think sometimes in sci-fi, character and acting can sort of get swallowed up with everything else going on, but that was never you. You always prioritize character and relationships and the actors, which I think we all appreciated.
Spot, you got anything nice to say about Fede?
Yeah, you just gave us loads of freedom and it was really nice. And I just had a great time doing it. I guess that's what I'm here to say.
Pretty amazing.
There you go. Yeah, that was all I was.
It's it's heartening to hear that you had such a nice time being hunted by an alien while on a spaceship. I'm curious, how much, if you can say, do we actually see the alien? Because a lot of, horror technique of old is really focused on building that idea of dread, that whatever you imagine is worse than the reality.
Well, in this case, I can tell you, what you imagine is probably not as bad as the reality of the story. That's what we try to do. Yes, we don't show, it always tends to be imagination where you create the scariest images. The xenomorph, it's been seen before, so we couldn't relate just on the fact of the mystery of what the thing is. So a lot of people know, but a lot of people don't know either. So there's a big audience out there that haven't seen any of the originals, don't know, they're just too young, and they will come of age right now at the perfect moment to be introduced to this world. But so that's a part of it. You cannot depend on that. But we do play it in a way that if you haven't seen any of them, you'll be super intrigued about what the thing is. And there's also more things. I mean, the trailers at this point, we really try to make sure we show the things that are more familiar. But there's so much more that we're not showing that it will be a massive mystery for even for the fans.
Yeah. Did you have any sort of basis of comparison within your own lives to draw upon to be in this place where you're like, oh man, I'm responsible for the crew of a ship?
What I love about the original Alien is that everyone feels really sort of grounded and blue collar, space truckers. So I think I was sort of curious at making Rain feel sort of homegrown. I'm from Southern Midwest, so I just sort of drew on my all American roots and wanted her to feel feel like she came from that sort of world, because that's what I love so much about the original film.
Yeah.
Not really for me actually. I didn't really have much because me and Fede spoke about this. My character is a synthetic, and because of that, you know, I've got great actors who took great takes on the role, but not there's no traits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a blank canvas, which was daunting but awesome. And me and Fede just spoke about people in our lives that we kind of know have some of those traits that make you want to talk to them, but they can't tell you the same things back, you know. So it was interesting. And then besides that, actually, I took quite a lot of Rain's like mannerisms, which she didn't quite. She didn't know this actually. This is.
Smart.
Yeah, I didn't tell her. I just did quite a lot of. I mean, I don't want to give away too much. You watch it.
I have to ask, since, you know, there's clearly a certain amount of homage to the original film being paid in this film, are we gonna get another cat?
There's no cat.
There's no
No cat in the
Jonesy.
movie.
Don't tell him. People guess.
Maybe there's a cat
Maybe
in the
there's
movie.
a dog.
Sorry.
Yeah, okay, I see. That's one of the big mysteries. Is there
Is there going to be a cat?
Is there going to be a cat? It's a very important question.
The cat is out of the bag.
The
There's
cat
no, there's
is
no
out of the
cat.
bag. We can't say whether or not there's a cat.